Here's a quick video by me, hopefully one or two, doing over the voting stuff. And first thing I want to talk about is a preference table. So a preference table is when you kind of combine when you combine all the data. So that's when you kind of organize it. And we usually do this in a chart, okay? So say you're voting for first place, second, and third, maybe president, vice president, and say secretary of your high school. I don't know, in high school, what do they have? Student council or something like that. Or maybe you have a club at DMAC and you're voting for the president of the club, the vice president, and the secretary. And so first place means that's your president vote, middle is your VP vote, and last is your secretary. So like this person over here wanted, say, Carl as the president, maybe Bob as the vice president, and maybe Amelia as the secretary or something like that, okay? So it doesn't really, ABC could stand for names or, you know, whatever we're counting, or if you're voting on what food to get for lunch. C could be Chick-fil-A, B could be Burger King, and A, I have no idea, Arby's, I guess, and you're voting to see where you're going to get lunch. So a preference table is when you kind of organize that data, okay? So if we look at our data, we're going to make a chart and we're going to organize it. So if you want to pause for a second, maybe look in your book. Preference tables usually look like this, like you have your first choice, second, and third, and then instead of like listing all of them like I did in my chart, you combine. So you count how many have MCD, CMD in these orders, because you're missing some. Not every vote is going to matter. Okay, so go ahead and make your chart. It should look something like that. And then count how many ABCs are there. So put ABC, count them, count how many CBAs. So I'm going to pause for a second and then I'll come right back. Okay, so after I counted ABCs, I put that in my chart, I counted 8 of them. And you could cross them off as you go. Then I looked for a different one, BCA, and I counted all the BCAs that I saw. And again, I would cross them off as I counted. I got 6. And then CBAs, I had 1 there and 1 there. That's 2. And I count, that's 16, which matches. So I feel good about my count. But this is a preference table. Notice that there might not be anybody that voted for BAC. So we don't need that on our chart. They could have voted BAC. It's just nobody did. Okay. And then we use these preference tables to do our different voting methods. Okay. So we're going to start and we're going to go through different scenarios. This is problem number 7 on page 850, so page 856 in your book, okay? So if you want to look at the ebook for this problem, you can. And basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to decide in their theater, you know, what if they're going to do a comedy this year, a drama, or a musical. And these are the votes, so they have the students vote. And so like 6 people voted for comedy as their first choice, musical as their second choice, and a drama as their third. But down here, 2 people voted for musical first, drama as their second choice, comedy third. So again, not every vote was needed. All right, nobody voted for what? Is there anything missing? Comedy, drama, musical. Nobody voted for that. Okay. Oh no, there it is. Comedy, musical. Maybe there's only 6 possibilities. Yeah, maybe they're all 6 there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the different methods with this. Okay. Plurality. Okay. Plurality literally is popular, the most popular, okay? So it doesn't matter if they have the majority or not, it's just what got the most votes. Now be careful because like here's M as both places, so that you got to count all the first place votes. So in plurality, you really only care about first place votes. Who's the winner based on the most popular? So for comedy, you'd have to add up all their first place votes, drama, and musical. So I'm going to pause for a second. Why don't you figure out who won based on plurality, the most popular, meaning the most votes for first place. Okay, so for plurality, if you added up 10 and 2, musicals had 12 votes, comedies had 6 and 4, which is 10 votes, and drama had 6 and 2, which is 8 votes. And just only based on first place, we don't care about anything else. The group that had the most votes were the people that voted for musicals, so then they would pick a musical, okay? All right, now, the Boredom method is kind of like a weighted grade. So you know how if you get an A, it's worth a 4.0, a B is worth a 3.0, a C is worth a 2.0, and a D is worth a 1.0. It's a weighted grade. That's what the Borda method is. So you get more points if you're in first place. So if you're in the first place chart, you weight the votes times 4, and then times 3, times 2, times 1 if you have fourth places, like grades 3rd, 4th. Okay. If you only have 3 places, then you would if you only have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, you would take all the votes. So however many votes are in that column, so that 10 or that 6 or 6 or 4. So you would take, say, in this column I have 10 people voted for that, 10 and 10. I just bring that 10 down, but then I weight it times 3, times 2, times 1. So that, and what this does is sometimes there's this second place person is super popular, but not enough to get first. And they're not hated. Okay, so maybe number 1 has the most popular, but maybe they're kind of like hated a lot, like they're 3rd place for a lot of other people. So you might kind of, with this method, kind of get the middle that everybody can live with a little bit. So I like the Borda method. But so what I want you to do is you're going to make your chart. Okay, so remake your chart, and this number comes down because these are 10 votes for 10, 10, 10, 6, 6, 6, so forth. And then you're going to weight it. So the first place gets times 3, times 2, times 1, 3 times 2 times 1. And then after that, you just add up all the points and pick the winner that way. Okay? All right, I'm going to pause. I want you to try the Borda method, and then I'll come back. Okay, so these 10 people voted in this order. So I'm going to do 10 and 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, and 2, 2, 2. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, so those are the number of votes for everything here. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to give them a scale. So since we only have 3 times 2 times 1 times 3 times 2 times 1. So we give more weight to first place. But the nice thing is second place gets a little power in this voting method. So it's not all about being first. Times 2 times 1. Okay, and it's like a GPA, you're weighting it. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out, okay, so how many points does musical get? Okay, so let's see, musical gets what? 30 here. They get 12 here. So they still get points for second place, just not as many, but it's weighted 6, 4, and what's that? 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. So that's musical, okay? All right, so then let's look at comedy. Comedy is what? 20, 18, 12, another 12, another 2, and comedy is what? Plus 2. Okay, and then the last one we have here is what? Drama. So drama is 10, 6, 18, 8, 6, and what? 4? Okay. So now go ahead and add these up and figure out who your winner is based on Borda. So I'll pause for a minute, let you add that up, and then we'll decide who our winner is. Okay, so I added them all up and got these totals, and so it looks like comedy wins the decision based on the most points. Okay, so Borda is like a weighted grade, okay, or a weighted vote. All right, let's look at plurality with elimination, and I just kind of have some notes I took on it, so let me kind of zoom in on those a little bit. All right, so it should really be called plurality with majority. If you have a majority, you're done. You just do the normal plurality. But if you don't have a majority, then you got to do some stuff. So if no one has above 50% of the votes, so if there's 100 votes, someone would need 51 to win. If they don't have 51, even if they're the most popular, what you do is you eliminate the lowest first place person. So again, with plurality, you only look at first place. But if there's, someone that, doesn't have a majority, you look at first place and say, basically, who lost first place? Let's get rid of them. And then you move the chart up and you look again for majority. And if you don't have one again, you only look at first place, you get rid of the loser of first place, and you keep moving people up and up and up. So plurality with elimination is, again, plurality, you're looking for the most popular, but they also have a majority. And if they don't have a majority, you get rid of the loser of first place until there is a majority, okay? All right, I'm going to switch back to our previous chart. Where is it? Shoot. Okay, here we go. So we have the musicals, so this thing again, okay? So what we're going to do is, first of all, I want you to only look at first place. Plurality with elimination. So does the winner have the majority? Okay. If not, get rid of the loser who lost first place and move everybody up and see what happens. Okay. So first of all, see who's first place, see if they have a majority. If they don't, get rid of the loser of first place and move your chart up. Okay. I'm going to pause for a little bit, let you practice that, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, so again, we're looking at plurality, but with elimination, meaning basically with a majority. And if you don't have a majority, you eliminate until you get one. Okay, so do we have a majority? There are what, 20, 30, yeah, 30 people. So 50% of 30 means you have to have higher than 15 to have a majority, okay? So if you don't have 15, you do not have a majority. All right, so let's only look at first place. M had what? M is 12, so 2 in that, yeah. C is what? 6, so that's 10, and drama is, yeah, 8. Okay, none of them are above 15. Okay, so 12, 10, and 8, none of them have a majority. Okay, so we had what? Musical was 12, comedy was 10, drama was 8, and we had no majority. No majority, because half of 30 is 15, and none of these are above 15. So what do? We get rid of the loser of first place. In plurality, you only care about who got first place votes, popular. So look at your list. Okay, drama was the loser. Okay, so since drama lost, we're going to get rid of drama everywhere, as if they weren't an option, like as if no one could have voted for them even if they wanted to. So we're like, yeah, drama's not the popular choice, so we're going to ditch it. We're just going to get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it, as if no one had the option to vote on it at all. Okay, so now what I want you to do is remake your chart with drama deleted. Pretend drama was never a choice. So now you only have first and second choice. And so remake a little skinny chart, okay, and see if we get a majority then. Okay, so I'm going to pause. You remake your chart, and then we'll pick up there. Okay, so we got rid of drama. So I remade my chart, and I got rid of third place, because we're pretending as if you could only vote between the two, okay, our top two choices. So what I did is I brought MC, CM, 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 MC, MC, put them down here. So like in this one, even though they're shifted, they shift up. So in a sense, what happens is everything goes up. This guy goes up, he goes up, he goes up, she goes up, everybody goes up a place. And I just remade my chart. The numbers up here are the same, so those are the same. Okay. Now what we do is, again, in plurality, it only matters about first place. So you never look here. You only look at first place, right? And so go ahead and only look at first place, count the votes for M, musicals, count the votes for comedies, and then you have to have a majority to decide if there's a winner. So go ahead and count all your musicals, count all your comedy votes, and then see if you have a true majority this time. I'll come back in a second. Okay, so for musical, again, we only care about first place. So we're not going to look at that at all. We're only looking up here. So musical had 10, 2, and 2, which adds up to 14. Okay, and comedy had 6, 6, and 4, which adds up to 6, 6, and 4 to 16. Okay, and remember, we needed more than half to have a majority, which would be more than 15. So right here we have a winner. So based on plurality, which is most popular, with elimination, meaning we needed a majority, comedy is going to win the vote on this method. All right, I'm going to make another video on pairwise just because it's a little more complicated, but hopefully this helped you guys.